So I'm here with Demi Cooper. He's one of our members of Film the Police Portland, and tell us about this incident and what preceded it. When did it happen?
The incident occurred on October 24th of 2014. I was arrested for trespassing and resisting arrest at the Beaverton Police Department, located in Beaverton, Oregon.
So basically you were arrested for conspiracy to point camera at the Beaverton Police Department's parking lot, like the cars and whatnot?
Yeah, the parking lot was open. There was no sign saying that this is private property, so, you know, given that it's a building full of public servants that are paid by the public, that they actually work for us, that, you know, you should have the right to go in and take pictures of the lot and their workplace just to make sure they're doing things correctly, you know? They said that they feared for their officers, the employees inside the building, and just innocent civilians that were just in the area of my camera. They were worried that I was taking their picture, and given that this is public property, they're public servants paid by the public, they work for the public, so they shouldn't even be afraid that someone wants to come and inspect their workplace. I was sitting on the curb, and I was on my laptop looking up property information for where I was trespassed from, and I look up and there is a Dodge Charger police cruiser sitting in front of me, and I just look at it for a few seconds and go back to my computer, and then I hear a door open and an officer gets out and approaches me. He asked me what I'm doing, and I told him that I'm not going to talk to him. He then radios it in that he's talking to somebody in the parking lot, and then a few seconds later another car pulls up perpendicular to the cruiser, and another officer gets out. As the other officer is walking towards me, the officer who was standing next to me reaches down, grabs my arm, and says I'm under arrest. My laptop's on my lap, so I don't move. I don't move my arms. I didn't move my arms at all.
Because it's a $2,000 laptop, right?
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Okay.
And I didn't move. I asked what I was under arrest for. They didn't say at the moment. They eventually did say what I was arrested for. That was after I was handcuffed and sitting in the back of a cruiser. But the other officers, so now there's two officers on my side, and they both have my arms, and they're trying to pull my arms behind my back.
Right.
So I'm not letting my arms move, because if I move from my current sitting position, my laptop's going to slide off and hit that pavement. And so now they're getting my arms, they can't get a good grip of my arms, and the officer radios in for backup, which is less than 30 feet from their station. So now there's more officers leaving the building and walking in my general direction. So I keep telling them how my laptop is, and so a third officer approaches me from the front, grabs my laptop, and puts it behind me on the dirt, and then now they're trying to pull me on the ground. At this time I'm freaking out because a lot of people are just grabbing me, pulling me into the ground, and they're telling me like to stop resisting. I'm not resisting. But I did not want to get hurt, or I didn't want to get. I don't know what these people are capable of doing.
So yeah, I read in the police report that you buried your hands underneath your body. I mean, that's basically an instinct. You know, if a bunch of people are on top of me, grabbing me, pulling me around, I'm gonna, curl up into a little fetal ball to try to protect myself. I mean, that's a normal human instinct.
Right, and I laid down on my stomach, and my arms were crossed and under my chest, in this kind of position. And they're trying to grab my arms, and my arms are linked. I kind of linked my arms, so I didn't want to move my arms at all.
Right.
So
at this point, the officers are fearing for their lives, in big giant quotes.
Right, and more officers are grabbing various parts of my body and my clothing, trying to get me to lay still because they're grabbing me. So I'm moving to and fro, and I'm trying to not I don't want them to grab my arms. I'm scared, and I just don't want them grabbing my arms and moving them. So next thing you know, I hear the word or the letters OC. I don't know what that is, but then I feel liquid hitting the side of my face, and then I can see out the corner of my eye it pulling on the concrete. And so
they maced you.
They maced me, and it took a few seconds for the mace to kick in, and when it kicks in, it is very painful. And the police say that it's used to subdue somebody and to get them to calm down, get them to stop resisting, and that doesn't work.
Well, what's the psychological effect of a big face full of mace there, Demi?
From my standpoint, it would cause any rational person to go into a full-blown panic mode, and that's what happened with me. When the mace kicked in, the pain kicked in, it was excruciating pain. Like, take like a really fine needle and stab it into your eye a few times.
So that's the loving arms of the state.
Yeah, and I couldn't stop moving now, because, there's pain. I'm just like, I'm scared because I don't know what their next tactic was going to be. The officers were telling me to do this and do that. There's like an officer's contradicting the other officer's order. Like, do this, and the officer's like, do that. And I'm like, okay, so now my mind is, I'm in pain. There's officers grabbing me, pulling me to and fro, and now they're telling me different directions.
So face full of mace, contradictory orders, and they're grabbing you at random, and your eyesight is impaired, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so to further calm you down, then comes the taser, yes?
Yes. I hear this thing sound like, and it was on my back. I don't remember feeling it, and I'm pretty sure it was clouded by the pain of the mace. I do remember hearing it, but I don't remember feeling it. When I heard that, I thought that they tased me in the mace, that they shot the dart in my back.
Right.
And
they dry tased you, right?
They dry tased me. So what they did, they I guess pushed a button which cycles the electric taser part, and they just put it on my back, and it left marks, and they took pictures of that.
Like little burn marks on your back?
I think so. I haven't been able to see the pictures. I would love to, though.
Well, all that in response to you walking around the building taking photographs.
Yes.
Wow.
They said they feared for the officers, and I'm just a teenager armed with a laptop, tablet, and a smartphone.
Demi, have you ever been convicted of a violent crime, or do you have any violent crime on your record, or have you threatened any of these officers in your previous encounters when you were walking around the building on previous days filming them?
No, surprisingly enough, I'm a non-violent person. I just left, and this violent response to a non-violent person who is unarmed, and you have cops who have mace, bait sticks, guns. I mean, these guys are suited up to go to war.
Tell me about your charges and what transpired when you finally ended up getting to see a judge. And I'm specifically interested in when the DA tried to prohibit you from publishing any FTP type material or anything on the internet. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I spent 16 days in jail. We couldn't bail out. When I was booked, my bond was at $250, and after my arraignment on Monday, the next week, my bail was raised to $50,000.
So that's $5,000 to walk, right?
Right. And
that's just exorbitant. That's crazy.
And the other inmates there found that inappropriate, actually, because there are inmates in there with more than one felony, and their bail was a lot lower than mine. So I'm thinking that they're keeping me in here just to ruin my life.
I think it's political, personally. I mean, okay, cameras are very dangerous, as we know, Demi. They're very dangerous. They're something to be feared, apparently, if they're going to set your bond at $50,000.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is a deadly weapon, you know? Like, everyone carries it around all day, and so to compensate with that, police officers carried 2 pairs of handcuffs, mace, a nice Glock to go with it, taser, just because someone decides to carry around a device that records their every action. And so,
So tell me about when you finally got out, you felt pressured or coerced into plea bargaining?
If I did not take I pleaded guilty to resisting arrest, and if I did not take that plea bargain, if I didn't plead guilty, I would have been in jail, and this would have gone to trial, which would have stretched for months. And it was I couldn't take months in jail. My life was already ruined as it is. I lost my dog. And a lot of people were disappointed in me. You know, you have a parent. As a parent, or if you were a parent, your kid's in jail for something small like a misdemeanor. I mean, major cities won't do this. Chicago won't do it. Chicago will book and release you. You'll have to come back to court, but your bail is not going to be that high. Washington County here in Oregon decides to raise it because they decided to make money off of every inmate in the jail. And it's...
So let's get back to the DA trying to crush your First Amendment right and the judge's opinion on that.
The DA decided what the plea was, as I would pay $500 in court fees and attorney fees. Then the condition was I cannot go to the police department for 18 months, and along with the 18 months is I cannot use the internet. That, I guess, because they feared that whatever information I got from the police department, they were afraid I was going to put it on the internet. The judge, however, dismissed the no internet use and said that I was protected by my First Amendment right, and...
Well, good for that judge.
Yes, he was a cool judge. And so there is actually no conditions to the probation regarding any internet use. I don't have to pay any court fees. I do have to check in every month, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Right. So kidnapped, imprisoned for 16 days, maced, and tasered for walking around with a cell phone and GoPro camera taking pictures of a police station. Wow.
America's great, isn't it?